Hello! Happy New Year! I'm filming this on the 1st. If you're wondering, Jane, why are you wearing the same things you wore in the last video? It's because I'm filming this right after. Because I don't know when I'll have time to film again. So I thought, why not just do it all at once? I have still my tea. Again, I'm coming off of a cold, so don't mind the sore throat, please. It's... You know, everyone knows how colds are. We all get them. It's just winter. It's just winter, Christmas. I always get them around this time, I swear. Well, it's my first cold, but I always get sore throats around this time of year, so. This video is going to be my reading wrap-up of 2022. I use Storygraph instead of Goodreads. I honestly find Storygraph so much easier to deal with than Goodreads, and it's kind of nice having an option that's not Amazon. So if you guys appreciate that, I will try to put my Storygraph link in my description of this video, and maybe I can put it on my I think there's an about page on YouTube if you guys want to follow me on Storygraph. It'd be super cool so you can see what I'm reading and whatever if you want. If not, it's fine. It's just there for you if you want. So I want to preference this by saying my goal for this year was 100 books and my goal for pages was 50,000 pages. I read 104 books this year. Woo! And by the way, I'm reading this off my computer. So that's why you see blue in my lenses. And that's why I'm looking here. And I only managed to read 43,610 pages, which is still a lot. And I honestly really like that they have that option. To tell you how much you read, and I'm very happy about that. My very first book I read this year was Iron Widow by, I cannot pronounce the name, I don't want to butcher it, but it's actually Iron Widow, amazing book, and the second book came out this year, and I'm so excited to read it. And the last book I read was Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. Yeah. Two very different books, yeah, I just like how it shows you the first and last book you read. Storygraph is a little map with like a mood reading. It's quite funny. In the beginning of the year, I was reading really, really dark books. And then at the very end of the year, I was reading really, really light books and happy books. So that was fun. The month I read the most books was December with 13 books, which is great. The genres I spent the most time with in 2022 was 76 books in fantasy, 52 in young adult, 48 in romance, 11 in contemporary, and 7 in science fiction. I need to branch out, I swear. The longest book I read was 984 pages, which was Kingdom of Ash. The shortest book I read was Epic Proportions by Larry Cohen and David Crane, which was a play I read, which is 47 pages. The average length of my books was 406 pages, and it took me roughly 5 days to finish a book, which is pretty good, I think. The least time spent reading a book was Iron Widow, which was a day. The most time was 40 days for Empire of Storms, which isn't because I don't like Empire of Storms. It's literally just because I didn't have time to read when I picked up that book. So I literally took me forever, and I think I was reading 3 books at once. So yeah. The author I spent the most time with in 2022. Well, if you've been here since January, you'd know I've read Crescent City, Court of Thorns and Roses, and The Throne of Glass books. So I read 15 of Sarah J. Maas books. I think I've read all of her books, actually. Or except for, like, the Catwoman ones. 6 from Jennifer L. Armentrout, and then 5 from Holly Black. I want to see if I can get, like, a most from another author, but if I'm not rereading any books, if I don't read a big series, I won't get anything this year. So yeah. My average rating, which this actually surprised me because I'm pretty willy-nilly. It's like if I finish a book and I really like it, I'll give it a good rating. Or like it's like how I feel. I'm like, oh my god, at the end of a book, I'm like, oh my god, that was so good. Or like, you know, like the extreme emotions where I'm like, that's how I rate it usually. It was only 3.8 stars. So I thought it'd be higher. For my 5-star reads, it was Iron Widow, Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson, From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and Kingdom of Flesh and Fire by Jennifer L. Armentrout, House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas, Ninth House by Leah Bardugo, A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, Lore Olympus Volume 1 by Rachel Smith, Hair of Fire by Sarah J. Maas, Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood, Empire Storm by Sarah J. Maas, A Light in the Flame by Jennifer L. Amarchow, and Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. So, yeah, I feel like that's a lot of 5 stars, maybe? I don't know. I see people who have like 2, and I see people who have like 100. I'm like, I don't know where I'm supposed to be. That's just where I have mine, I guess. In May, my highest average rating I had all year, which is 4.21. And July was the lowest with 2.96, which is not very much. And then April was the most time I read pages, which was 5,089 pages, which is a lot. The most common book I read by other Storygraph users, which was with 285,814 other people read this book, was The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. And the least, but like the only one other person read Harry Potter 20 Years of Magic. And then the highest rated book I read this year, which I wouldn't think this would be it, was 4.6, was I can't pronounce it for the life of me. Narcissa, The Valley of the Wind, Deluxe Edition 2 by David Lewis, Hayao Miyazaki, and Torrin Smith. Which I didn't think. I explored 55 new authors, which I don't know if that's completely true because this is my first year using Storygraph. But 83 of the books I read were part of the series. Only 83? I feel like all the books I read are part of the series. But yeah, that was cool. And I read 19 books off my own shelf this year. And I didn't have 5 books. So yeah, that's how it is. I don't know. That was my 2022. And now for my 2023, I'm going to tell you what my goals are. So obviously I have a page and a book goal, and then I just have like other reading goals I want to do. So my page goal is 55,000, and I know I didn't get to 50,000, but my book goal is way higher this year. My book goal is 150 books. I think I can do it. I hope. I think I should push myself to do it. But I also want to expand my genres. I want to read more, like I do love fantasy and I want to read a lot of fantasy still, don't get me wrong. I won't be surprised if fantasy is my top genre, but I want to be more contemporary, more sci-fi, more dystopian, more maybe mystery, maybe a couple of thrillers, like kind of read more different books. I also want to diversify my authors a lot because I do realize I've been reading lots of white authors, and I want to read more maybe POC and more people authors and more authors from like LGBTQ plus as well. Same with stories. I want to read more stories, different experiences surrounding them and stuff. I feel that'd be really interesting, and I feel like I should read more different books. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with what my goals are for this year. I think I'll be able to do them. We'll just wait and see, I guess, where I have access to, and we'll see. Until then, tell me what, in the comments, tell me what your new 2023 reading goals are, and tell me how you didn't, like what you read in 2022. Or like what your overall thing was in 2022. I'm really interested. And yeah, I'll see you all later.